Today is a very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of Shyamananda Prabhu. Our Gurudev wrote his biography. Sri Shyamananda Prabhu was a servant of Subal in Krishna Lila. He was the disciple of Hriday Ananda or Hriday Chaitanya, a disciple of Gauridas Pandit, who is Subal in Krishna Lila. Yam loka bhuvi kirtayanti Hridayanandasya shishyam priyam Sakya Shri Subalya yam bhagavataha Preshtanushishyam tatha Sashriman Rasikendra Mastaka Manishchite Mamaharnisham Shri Radha Priya Narma Marmasu Ruchim Sampadayan Bhasatam. Sri Shyamananda was known in this world as Hriday Ananda's dear disciple. He was a follower of Subal Saka and he became the grand disciple of Lord's dear associate. May he, the crash jewel of the connoisseurs of divine love, appear day and night in my mind, bringing me fondness for the service of Shri Shri Radha Madhava's confidential joyous pastimes. This is from Shyamananda Shataka. In Krishna Lila, one Priyanarma Saka, chief, the best of all Priyanarma Sakas of Krishna, is Subal Saka. These Priyanarma Sakas, they are serving also Krishna in his Madhurja pastimes. Like Manjaris, they are serving Radharani. These Priyanarma Sakas are serving Krishna when he's doing those pastimes. And Subal is the best of all. This Subal, he appeared in Gaurila as Gauridas Pandit. His disciple is Hriday Chaitanya and his disciple is Shyamananda Prabhu. Shyamananda Prabhu was born on the full moon day of Chaitra in 1456 of the Shaka era, that is 1535, our counting, in the town of Darenda Bahadurpur, which is near the Karakpur railway station in Midnapur. His father was Sri Krishna Mandal and his mother Durika. Krishna Mandal's hometown was Dandeshwar, which lies on the bank of the Subarnarika river. The following statement is found in the Gauriya Vaishnava Vidhan, that is Encyclopedia Gauriya Vaishnava. Sri Krishna Mandal used to live in a place called Ambua near Dandeshwar. He formerly lived in Gaura, a part of Bengal which lies on the bank of the Bhagirathi river, and only later moved to Dandeshwar, just across the present-day border in Orissa. Here I'm not sure who wrote this bracket, I will have to see in original, because Gaura means Bengal. It is not part of Bengal. That is why those Vaishnavas who are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are called Gauriyas, because Mahaprabhu appeared in Bengal and started his movement there, so they are called Gauriyas. And Prabhupada made his mat's name Gauriya Mat. First mat was Chaitanya Mat in Mayapur, then its branches are Gauriya Mats. But all followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in any sampradaya, from any personal associate, they are all called Gauriyas. Sometimes people misunderstand, they think Gauriya Vaishnavas are those who are followers of Gauriya Mat. That is not correct. Gaura means Bengal. Anyone following Mahaprabhu is Gauriya. So he moved from Bengal to Orissa. Shyamananda Prabhu Shripads in the towns of Dharenda, Bahadurpur, Raini or Rohini, Gopi Balapur, Nrishingapur and Nrishingapur are very dear to his disciples. Shyamananda Prabhu was born in the Sadgopa subcaste, which fits in the category of Jol Chol, that is to say Brahmanas who are permitted to only take water touched by its members. Of course, a Vaishnava is beyond the material qualities and may take birth in a family of any race or caste. And anyone who thinks badly of Vaishnavas or judges them on the basis of their race or caste is destined for hell. Like Sai Maharaj used to say, they are saying these are European and these are American like this. In India, they will say and they will discriminate. But one should not discriminate Vaishnavas based on their birth, or he's a black man, he's white man. Because this verse is there in Padma Puran. Arche Vishnu Shiladi Gurushu Naramatir Vaishnave Jati Buddhir Vishnur va Vaishnavanam Koli Mala Matane Padatir Tembu Buddhi Shri Vishnu Namni Mantre Sakala Kalusha Hai Shabda Samanya Buddhir Vishnu Sarveshwareshatat Itara Samadhir Yasya Vanarakisaha. Anyone who considers the deity to be nothing but stone. We are speaking here, it is meant installed deities or self-manifested deities where Krishna is there. Because we also know that Abhiram Thakur, he had such lila that if he came to any place and there was some so-called deity, it was actually statue only, because some Brahmins, they wanted to collect donations in the name of that. So if he would give dandavat to that statue or so-called deity, then the deity would break to pieces. But if real Krishna is there, then it will not. So there is a difference between statue and deity. Deity is not stone, but statue is stone and is not worshipable. And also there was some so-called Vaishnava wearing tilak and mala for the sake of getting donation from people, but in his heart he is not really devoted to Krishna. If Abhiram Thakur will give dandavat to him, then that man will die because he is a cheater. But if a real Vaishnava, he will give dandavat, then he will survive. So it is not all the same. We have to be cautious. Even in Ramlila we get this teaching that there may be some so-called sadhus in dress of sadhus, but they are not real sadhus. Ravan took the dress of sadhu to cheat Sita. So one has to be careful. So anyone who considers the deity to be nothing but stone, the guru to be an ordinary human being, or the Vaishnava to be a member of a particular caste or race, who takes the holy water which has washed Vishnu or the Vaishnava's feet and can destroy all the sins of the age of Kali, to be ordinary water, who thinks that the name or mantra of Vishnu, which destroys all evils, is the same as any other sound, or who takes Vishnu to be equal to anything other than him, has a hellish nature. Means he's suffering material existence. Also mantra, there is that verse in Padma Puran, Sampradaya Bihina Je Mantradas Nishpalamata. If you don't receive mantra from bona fide preceptorial channel, then that mantra will be fruitless. Our Gurudev gave example. He said you should take mantra from someone at whose back Krishna is there. Krishna is there. He's authorizing him to give mantra through Guru Parampara. His Guru authorized him, and his Guru and like this, and Krishna. Means one who is devoted to Krishna, and Krishna is authorizing him to give that mantra, then you will get real mantra, real seed. Otherwise, if seed is not good, then that fruit you cannot expect, even by watering that seed. Also, mantra chanting, if not bona fide, then you cannot get prema. And our Gurudev gave example, like in India, when they started those money notes, then the signature from government has to be there. Then it will have value. But if that signature is not there, everything else looks same money, everything, but it is fake, because that signature is not there, so that has got no value. Like that, mantra has got no value if not received from bona fide preceptorial channel, because Krishna has to give, because it is non-different from him. No one can get it without submission, and no one can give it without Krishna's will. So it is not all the same. There are many, Gurudev told, in India, many family gurus. They will come and they will give like initiation into mantra, but they will not explain any rules and regulations for the service of Krishna which are given in Shastra and by Guru Parampara. You can eat whatever you like, no problem. Garlic, onion. Then they will say, no, I don't like to wear tulsi, mala. Then that Guru says, okay, no need, no problem. Because their only interest is to get money, so they don't want to impose anything. Just you are a disciple, you give donation, it's okay, I will give you prasad. So by getting such Guru, by getting such mantra, one cannot get Krishna Prem. That we have to clearly understand. Like if that fake money, if you come and they will catch you, then you cannot buy anything. So Krishna knows everything. No one can cheat Krishna. Fake guru will go to hell. Fake disciple also will go to hell. Means they will remain in material existence. They cannot get out and get the service of Krishna. One who takes birth in a low-class family is not disqualified from performing devotional service, nor is one who is born in a pure high-class Brahminical family automatically qualified for such service. No. Whoever engages in the worship of the Lord is a great person. One who does not worship is rejected. There is no consideration of caste or creed in Krishna bhajan. One who follows Shastra and follows Guru and sincerely engages in the service of Krishna, he is devotee. It doesn't matter which kind of birth. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then, from Itihas Samuchaya, quoted in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Name Bhaktas Chaturvedi, Mad Bhaktas Shopachach Priyo, Tasmai Deyam Tato Grajyam, Sacha Pujo Yatahyaham. Simply being a knower of the four Vedas does not make someone my devotee. An outcast who is my devotee is dear to me. One should exchange gifts and food, etc. with such a devotee, for he is verily as worshipable as I am. Shyamananda's parents had lost several children in childbirth, and they vowed to surrender next child to Vishnu if it survived. Having suffered so much grief in the loss of their previous children, they first named Shyamananda as Dukhi, or unhappy, to ward off further distress. Shyamananda's parents, Durika and Sri Krishna Mandal, made their home in Dandeshwar. His father was the best of the Sadgopa caste, of impeccable character. Krishna was everything to him, and Krishna's devotees very dear. We cannot describe the virtues of his parents for fear of increasing the volume of this book. They had previously lived in Darenda, Bahadurpur, and people say that Shyamananda was born there. Though his brothers and sisters had all died in childbirth, nothing could stop him. Even so, his parents brought him up in sadness, and they called him Dukhi. One second. I'm also making notes at the same time, because here it is written like Darenda Bahadur put together, and here it was separately, so I have to check how it is. Shyamananda Prabhu's though his brothers and sisters had all died in childbirth, nothing could stop him. Even so, his parents brought him up in sadness, and they called him Dukhi. It's from Bhakti-Ratnakar. Shyamananda Prabhu's parents performed the appropriate rituals when their time came, such as the first eating of solid food and the cutting of hair. As he grew older, he studied Sanskrit grammar, etc. His parents were overjoyed to see his talents and his religious proclivity. Shyamananda Prabhu listened attentively to devotees when they spoke of Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu's glories, and would repeat them to others constantly. Whenever he listened to the activities of Gaur Nitai or Radha and Krishna, tears would flow in torrents from his eyes. Dukhi served his parents devotedly, and they told him to get initiated so that he could fully commit himself to the service of the Lord. Dukhi agreed and told them that he wished to take Diksha from Hriday Chaitanya in Ambika Kalna. Going there would also give him the chance to see the Ganges and bath in it. Here it would be better in English language. Chance to see the Ganges or Ganga and bath in her. Ganga is not it, like something, it is Devi, so it is her. His parents happily gave him permission to go. In Slovene language also river is she, not it. She. When Dukhi arrived in Ambika Kalna, he threw himself at the feet of Hriday Chaitanya, who upon becoming acquainted with him, happily gave him Krishna mantra. He gave Dukhi the Vaishnava name Krishna Das, and so he was known from then on as Dukhi Krishna Das. Hriday Chaitanya ordered him to go to Vrindavan and take up a life of intense bhajan. Though Dukhi Krishnadas did not like being separated from his Gurudev, following his order, he set off for Braja, first visiting Navadip and other places in Gauramandal, where he sought the blessings of the Vaishnavas. This is most important. We have to follow the order of Guru. That will be for the service of Krishna, not only trying to remain physically near him. If there is seva for his physical form appearance, not material, then it is okay. But if you are not having such seva, then you have to do what the Guru orders you, and that will be more important. Following his order, he set off for Braja, first visiting Navadip and other places in Gauramandala, that is Bengal, not Navadip. You can say Navadip Gaura, like S of Gaurango, Mandal, Gaura. But this is Gaura with soft R, that is Bengal. It is also transcendental. Narottam Thakur, we are singing that song, Gaura, Shri Gaura Mandala Bhumi, Jeba Jane Chintamani, which is touchstone, not touchstone, thinking stone, wish fulfilling stone, Chintamani. Also we heard, maybe yesterday, that Kurma Bipra, he wanted to go with Mahaprabhu in his preaching party. Wanted to leave his house and wanted to join Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu, he said, you please rescue me from my enjoying tendency here in the house. Let me go with you. Then Mahaprabhu said, no, don't say like this. I order you, you stay here in the house and you always chant Harinam. By this, you will not be engaged in sense enjoyment. That will not touch you. And also you, on my order, you become Guru and deliver this area here. So he gave him seva, not physical proximity, nearness, but seva. And Mahaprabhu said, again, you will get my association here. Also we heard Rupa and Sanatan, they were ordered by Mahaprabhu to go to Vrindavan and do their seva there. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world, Raghunath Das Goswami was in much separation grief because he was staying with him in Puri. So he also wanted to give up life. But he thought, let me go to Vrindavan. Once I want to get darshan of Vrindavan, then I will jump from Govardhan and I will give up body. But when he came to Vrindavan, he met Rupa and Sanatan. They were living there. At that time, he felt Mahaprabhu is there. And he gave up that separation grief. He felt presence of Mahaprabhu in Rupa and Sanatan. Why? Because they were serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. So serving Guru, it means having his presence or his association. After spending much time on pilgrimage, he finally arrived in Vrindavan, where he became completely absorbed in the worship of Shri Shri Radha Shyamsundar. In Vrindavan, Dukhi Krishnadas studied the Vaishnava scriptures under Shri Jiva Goswami, who was the leading scholar of the Sampradaya. When Hriday Chaitanya heard of the enthusiasm with which Dukhi Krishnadas was leading the devotional life in Braja, he wrote a letter to Jiva Goswami in which he said that Jiva Goswami should accept Dukhi Krishnadas as his own disciple. Just as he gave titles to his other prominent students, the Acharya title to Srinivas and Thakur title to Narottam, Jiva Goswami gave the name Shyamananda to Dukhi Krishnadas. The reasoning behind this name was that he brought great joy to Sri Radha Shamsundar. He brought great joy to Shyamasundar, and hence he was given the new name Shyamananda in Vrindavan. Seeing his sincere endeavor in devotion, Shri Jiva Goswami taught him devotional scriptures. This is from Bhakti Ratnakar. Jiva Goswami sent Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Shyamananda Prabhu back to Bengal with the Vaishnava scriptures written by the Goswamis in 1504 of Bengali era, or 1582 to 3, our counting. The idea was to spread the teachings found in these books throughout Bengal and Orissa. We have already related the events that took place when Bir Khambir had these books stolen. Narottam Thakur went to northern Bengal and Shyamananda Prabhu went to Orissa. The Midnapur district was previously under the rule of the Orissan king. So they wrote scriptures for our benefit. Those are the commentaries to Srimad Bhagavatam and from other scriptures also to explain the teaching of Mahaprabhu, what he came to give. So that is very valuable, and he ordered them, you go there. Like that, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he was ordered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will have to preach everywhere. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ordered Srila Swami Maharaj, you have to translate these books and you have to preach in English language. You know English, so you preach. So he also made this. He translated and he brought all the Vaishnava scriptures to all over the world in English language. Bhagavad Gita as it is, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, then some other books, summary studies. Then gradually also other books were translated and distributed throughout the world. So it is meant we should read them, study them, and follow their teaching. If we cannot understand, then we have to take help of some realized Vaishnava. Even though Shyamananda Prabhu was Hridaya Chaitanya's initiated disciple, his guru had entrusted him to the care of Jiva Goswami Prabhu. Through the association of Jiva Goswami and service to him, Shyamananda Prabhu developed a taste for serving Radha and Krishna in the conjugal mood. Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu himself was a disciple of Gauridas Pandit, who was one of the 12 Gopals, Subal Saka. He thus worshipped Gaur Nitai in the mood of friendship. Those who think that Shyamananda Prabhu committed an offense to his initiating spiritual master by abandoning his mood and by serving Krishna in a different mood are wrong. The mood of friendship is contained within the conjugal mood. If a disciple makes further progress in spiritual life, it enhances the reputation of his teacher. And it was by the permission of his guru. An extraordinary incident which took place in Vrindavan prior to his being ordered by Jiva Goswami to return to Orissa demonstrates how dear Shyamananda Prabhu was to Radharani. One day, Shyamananda Prabhu was sweeping the Rasa Mandal in Vrindavan, absorbed in an ecstatic trance. Suddenly, by Radharani's transcendental mercy, he found her ankle bracelet, or nupur, lying on the ground. In his excitement, he touched the ankle bracelet to his forehead, where it left a mark, which is preserved to this day as the tilak marking of the disciple descendants of Shyamananda Prabhu. It is known as Nupur tilak. If you go to Vrindavan, the temple, Radha Shyam Sundar, you can see their deity. And also in Orissa, many lines are Shyamananda Prabhu. So they are also Gauriya Vaishnavas. They are followers of Mahaprabhu. It is not that only Gauriya Mat devotees are Gauriyas. Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Thakur, and Shyamananda Prabhu primarily preached the message of Mahaprabhu through Kirtan. The styles that these three Acharyas used respectively were named Manoharasahi, Garanahati, and Renati. So Renati was used by Shyamananda Prabhu. They would enchant the listeners with their heartfelt singing of Kirtan. Unfortunately, these styles of Kirtan are no longer existent. Kirtan here means these songs, devotional songs. Something Kirtan means singing and dancing, Mahamantra. But Kirtan means any kind of speaking or singing. Even Srimad Bhagavatam class, you can say Pat Kirtan, class Kirtan. Or when they will say, first you do Kirtan, then we will come. It means you do some devotional songs you sing, or names like this, or Kirtan. So what is meant here, they used to preach through Kirtan, and in these styles means they wrote so many songs, and in those songs all philosophy is already there, or Siddhanta, all Siddhanta, Sambandha, Vidya, Prayojan, everything is there. And with examples and how to practice, everything is there. Like Narottam Thakur, you will find Prem Bhakti Chandrika and Prarthana. Or our Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote 4 songbooks. So many songs, and all Siddhanta is there in a very sweet and concise manner. So when they would sing these songs describing the glories of Krishna and his devotees and about process and everything, this attracted people, awakened their heart, and they became devotees. In this way they preached. But Srinivasa Acharya, he also preached through Bhagavat classes. That was the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he also sent him to Gadadhar Pandit Goswami to learn Bhagavat from him. As a result of Shyamananda Prabhu's preaching in Orissa, many Muslims also became his disciples. The most important of his innumerable disciples was Rasika Murari, or Rasikananda. Rasikananda was the son of Achyutananda, the zamindar of Rohini village. He had another name Murari, and was thus most commonly known as Rasik Murari. He was a very powerful preacher, and his fame is still widespread throughout the villages of Orissa. A list of some of Shyamananda Prabhu's prominent disciples is given in the Bhakti Ratnakar. Shyamananda made disciples all over the place. A person can be purified by hearing their names. Radha Ananda, Purushottam, Manohar, Chintamani, Balabhadra, Jagadishwar, Udava, Akrura, Madhuvan, Govinda, Jagannath, Gadadhar, Anandananda, and Radha Mohan. Shyamananda was constantly immersed in the joys of Kirtan in the association of these disciples. Poets have described his wonderful pastimes for the pleasure of everyone. It is from Bhakti Ratnakar. That is why we have to change the name. from ordinary worldly name to some spiritual name, either name of Bhagavan or his devotee or potency or something in relation to Bhagavan, then that will purify us. Like Ajamil, he named his son Narayan, and by that he was rescued. So we should use these names, Diksha names, not worldly names, when calling. And those who are really devoted to Krishna, their only target is Krishna should be happy, Krishna should be satisfied, Krishna should be served. So when real devotees, they see another devotee, he will see he's devoted to same Krishna, he's serving Krishna. And because that is his target, this devotee, he will be happy to see that devotee. He will be friend with him, and he will respect him, even worship him, serve him, because he knows he is also serving my Krishna. And he is very dear to Krishna. So naturally they will have this devotion to Vishnu and Vaishnava. But if there is no devotion to Vaishnava, or there is even envy or malice or competition spirit or belittling, criticizing, then you can understand there is no real devotion to Krishna in that person. Devotion to Krishna means also devotion to those who are dear to him and who are serving him. Is natural. So if we cannot recognize devotion in other Vaishnavas, then there is some lack of our actual devotion. We think he's not of our organization, so he's bogus. Or he's not our sampradaya, he's bogus, like this. No. You have to see if he is devoted to Krishna or not, how he is devoted, because God is only one. So if he is a sincere servitor, maybe other sampradaya or other branch of Chaitanya tree or other organization or something, but he's a devotee. This we have to understand. Another of Shyamananda Prabhu's notable disciple was a yogi named Damodar, whom he converted to Vaishnavism. Narahari Chakravarti has written the following account of that conversion. Shyamananda mercifully flooded the yoga practitioner named Damodar with devotional rasa. After becoming his disciple, Damodar constantly cried and chanted the names of Nitai Chaitanya, who could remain untouched by his ecstatic absorption. He danced, crying out, "Bhakti is the best of all." After delivering Damodar, Shyamananda continued to travel about, distributing the jewel of devotion to everyone. It is jewel. This Damodar, he was yoga practitioner, so their ultimate target is to realize Paramatma and to merge into Paramatma. So there is no any service there. Only liberation from material energy, but no service. But if such yogis or jnanis or karmis or anyabilasis, if they get this fortune of getting the grace of a real devotee who is devoted to this, to Krishna, he's serving him, then they will get higher taste, higher transcendental taste. Then they will accept that, and they will then proclaim Bhakti is the best of all. It's higher taste, and also it is natural for Jiva there are many yogis, they became devotees. Also Gyanis, that example of 4 Kumaras, they all accepted, but for that you need association of real devotee. Shyamananda Prabhu put on a large festival at Darenda with Rasik Murari and Damodar that is still remembered today by his descendants. When he left the world, Shyamananda Prabhu turned over the service of Sri Govinda at Gopi Ballapur to his dear disciple Rasikananda Dev Goswami. Shyamananda Prabhu's disciples and their descendants still worship his deity Radha Shyam Sundar in Vrindavan. This temple is still one of the principal pilgrimage sites in Vrindavan. If you go there, then behind, means in front of deities, but little back there, towards the entrance, you will find some stairs down to the cave of Bhajan Kutir of Shyamananda Prabhu, and also Rasikananda Prabhu, his dearest disciple. It's very narrow, you have to go down, and when you reach that cave, then there is deity of Shyamananda and Rasikananda, and board is there. Keep quiet. Shyamananda and Rasikananda in bhajan. I like that board, because really they are eternal, and really we should not be like a tourist and make noise like this in sacred places. We should be with surrender mood. We should serve them. Even there is one seva aparat. In front of deity, you should not speak very loudly, or you should not argue in front of deity. That is also seva aparat. So also this is same in front of Guru Vaishnava. They are doing bhajan. You should not make noise and jump and do these things. Shyamananda Prabhu lived in the last part of his life in Nrishingapur in Orissa, where he continued preaching Vaishnavism. They are preachers because they were ordered to preach, so they do their seva. Those who are preachers, they will live in such a place where they can preach. But those who are bhajananandis, they will generally remain in some dham, Vrindavan, like Babaji, Vrindavan or Navadip or Puri. They will do bhajan. That is service of Krishna, because he wants from them. They are also helping others if someone comes to them, but they will not travel so much around and meet many people and preach like this. That is not their seva, but they will explain to anyone who comes to them. But those who are preachers, Goshtanandi, they will not stay in dham. They will stay in some place or travel all over, everywhere. They will travel to awaken sleeping souls. That is why our Prabhupada also, he stayed in Calcutta. For preaching and in other places. But that does not mean that he is staying in Calcutta. He himself said, I'm not staying in Calcutta, because they are always in bhajan, always in service of Krishna, they are always in transcendental realm. But this is their seva and they are not polluted. They may stay in any place, they will not be touched. That is why even Mahaprabhu said for Nityananda Prabhu, even if you see him in prostitution house, bordel, or in some liquor shop or the drinking shop, still you should not have doubts about Nityananda Prabhu. He is there to rescue them. So he also was living in Rishingapur, where he continued preaching Vaishnavism. His earthly pastimes came to an end on the first day of the waning moon in the month of Ashar in 1631 AD. To preserve his holy memory, the branch of the Gauriya Math in Midnapur city was named Shyamananda Gauriya Math. Also, when Sai Maharaj was in America, he was preaching, then he played some pastimes of illness, and he even thought he will maybe have to leave his body. Then he wrote a message to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Bhakti-Rakshak Dev Gosai Maharaj, what I should do. Should I, maybe I will give up my body. Should I return to Vrindavan and give up my body there in Dham, or should I continue preaching here? What I should do? Then Srila Sridhar Maharaj, immediately he replied to him, you have to stay there. Because that is the service given to you by your Guru. So if you are in preaching field, following the order of your Guru, that is like you are a soldier on the battlefield. So there you have to die, not at home. So means seva is important. Sai Maharaj also himself told, I was in Vrindavan, in Radha Damodar temple. And my room was just in front of Ditis and in front of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi and Bhajan Kutir. And everything was very nice. I got prasad, everything, nice room, everything. But if I would stay there, that would be like sense gratification for me. Because it was my Guru's order that I have to preach everywhere. So I'm obeying this order. If I would stay in Vrindavan, that would be like sense gratification. We generally hear you have to do bhajan in Vrindavan and in temple and this, everything. But in this case, in comparison, because it was his Guru's order, he said that would be like sense gratification. I have to do this service. And by this service, we are actually staying in Dham and in the service of Krishna. So it depends what Guru orders us to do. It is not that all will be preachers. Some will be bhajananandis. Some will be assistants like this. But the main thing is we have to do what Guru wants, how we should be engaged in the service of Krishna. So he was there preaching in Orissa. And when, after the disappearance of Prabhupada, our Parangurudev and Srila Bhakti Kumud Shanta Gosai Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Gosai Maharaj, they were preaching together. They made this temple together, this mat, Shyamananda Gauriya mat. And it is in this mat, Shyamananda Gauriya mat, that our Gurudev took Harinam initiation from Parangurudev and got ecstasy immediately for 3 days. He joined the mat in Calcutta, but soon Parangurudev sent him to this mat because other family members, they came to take Gurudev back. So Parangurudev told him, by back door you go to that Shyamananda Gauriya mat. Then Parangurudev came there and gave him Harinam. So today is Shyamananda Prabhu's disappearance day. I am remembering his deity forum there in Radha Shamsundar temple in Vrindavan, bowing down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy for the service of his lotus feet and lotus feet of his object of worship, Gaur Nityananda and Radha Shamsundar. Tomorrow you will further hear Bhagavatam.